Well, hello everybody. Oh, sorry, Abora. Welcome to the Cup, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come here first to quench your thirst. I'm Brook, and I'm passionate about pop culture, and I'm excited to finally get this draft in the books before the season premieres on Tuesday. So, at time of filming, um, it's draft day, everybody. Woohoo! And I am joined by some lovely panelists to my right and below.
Yeah, exactly. Hi and hello. It's Micha, your Parisian correspondent here. And it's our first October ghoulish draft for Dragula. And coincidentally, I'm only drinking water because what else would you need for such a draft?
And I'm Mike. I'm your buff bodybuilding correspondent down in Dallas, Texas. I put the him in himbo and the game in video gamer. And I'm so excited to draft our monsters.
I'm also very excited. I have been doing remarkably well in the drafts this year. I've yet to lose one, knock on wood, in 2025. I am 4 for 4. So this might be the last draft I participate in this year. So we're going to try to get a home run, 5 for 5, win them all, and then nobody can tell me anything afterwards. For the record, a grand total of the time I have been on this podcast, I am now 4 for 16 in my drafts. So if that tells you anything, this has been a banner year for Brook. And also, to be clear, in case you all haven't seen our draft videos in the past, the three of us plus Logan, who could not be here, will be drafting 4 of the monsters from this new season of Dragula Titans 2. Yes, there are 14 monsters on the cast. 2 people will be able to be drafted twice. Once 2 people have been drafted twice, everybody that has already been drafted will also be taken off the table. And then as the season goes on, we're going to talk about who's left and who's got who on their draft team still in the competition. And then it kind of turns into a fun little way for us to compete with each other because Lord knows none of us can handle half of the stuff that happens on Dragula. So before we get into all of that, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. We are trying to get to 1,000 new subscribers across all of our channels this year. It would be greatly appreciated. You can also buy your merch, including but not limited to cup mug at laundrycreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description down below. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much, Mike. That's the 2.0 model, the one that has the logo on both sides, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, everybody buy your cup mugs. They're not even that expensive. They're relatively affordable. If you live in North America, outside shipping can be a little much sometimes. But we do ship it internationally, so there are no excuses except unless you are dealing from worldwide inflation, which is of course a very valid excuse. And thank you for your support. Otherwise, so are we ready to get into this?
Yeah, I think should we start with the disclaimer? On the top.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. So Mike and I were here for the cast assessment with Logan. In that video, we recorded it before the promo pictures officially dropped. Okay. So a lot of the critiques that we had about the promo looks were completely based on that one trailer that had the spooky mood lighting where you couldn't see half of the things they were wearing.
Mm-hmm. And some of them had like reveals that we had no idea that it was a reveal, or they tore off anything. It was, we'll talk about it when we get to each of the monsters here. But I will say across the board, I think my comments on the looks have all improved on literally everybody. I think that these looks, we'll get to them on each of them. But I will still blame production on this one. They really drip fed the preseason press for this one. I wish they kind of just like released it all at once to make our lives easier, because we were so excited when, the trailer dropped with the cast reveal, but they really drip fed the promo pics and the interviews. And we'll talk all about that in the draft here.
Yeah. I can personally say there is one look that I have done a complete and total 180 on, just from looking at the promo picture. And we'll talk about her when we get to her. But yeah, so bear in mind that our opinions have grown and changed on a lot of these looks in the time that it has been since the cast assessment happened to now. So we do have our draft order. It was randomized. So Mike, you will be going first, then me, then Logan, and then Micha. However, when we get to Micha will then draft twice, and then we go back to Logan, and then to me, and then to Mike, and so on and so forth until all 16 picks have been completed. So, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Mike, you have the tough task of picking first.
This is such a stacked cast. It is hard. When I was ranking this, I was like, who is first? There's such top talent on this cast. But I would be remiss if I did not go for the mother herself, Sigourney Beaver, as my first choice in this draft.
Wow, who's surprised by that? Not me. I'm certainly not surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about her? I think I'm so excited to see her. Everything that I've said in the cast assessment, I really want her to be able to shine this season and not having to defend herself at every point. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I would like to go ahead and say that in the cast assessment, we did say this look wasn't our favorite thing she's worn. With the better lighting, this is just fantastic. I thought it was great in the cast assessment too, but I think even now, even more so now, that red is so vibrant. It adds so much to this look by doing, I mean, in all intents and purposes, very little, but because it's there, it adds so much more dimension. I love how her tattoos work with this look too. I think it just adds so much to it as well. Sigourney has always been really good at utilizing her ink to kind of accentuate a look, and I think this is no exception. So I kind of figured if I didn't go first that somebody was going to take Sigourney before me. I could still get her, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Micha, and go ahead, Micha.
No, I mean, just like I also kind of, I wouldn't say 180. I just like added some 30 degrees to this look while looking at it fully, because now it reminds me of her winning look on the Ghost Ship Design Challenge on her season, like on episode 5, but with much redder, much bloodier, and much cooler. So yeah, I was,
Comments on her interview, she had the funniest line of anybody. She said I'm throwing my vag back in the page because this clit won't quit. And that is iconic. We love her for that.
I love her so much. I wish her nothing but the best in life. Just as a human being, not even like, and again, a lot of what we see of these people is just this edited character on screen. But everything I see of Sigourney always just makes me smile. I want her to do so well. And I'm so excited she's here. And I'm irritated that
I will say sorry. I will say I said I would hope that she doesn't have to really kind of, it looks like she's probably going to get into some fights again this time. If you looked at the trailer, there's a lot of fighting. And the Boulet brothers were not shy with saying that the fights are pretty fierce this season. So I'm sure Sigourney will be part of that at some point. We will see what happens in these next few weeks.
We shall. You know, we're going to see what happens right now. My draft pick, because I'm next. Part of me really was like, okay, I want Sigourney really bad. And I am, as you can see from my header, I am the CEO of the Sigourney Beaver fan club, and therefore I should immediately pick Sigourney. However, after I watched the Meet the Monsters, there was definitely somebody that I already loved, and I was going to pick them pretty high as well. But I am just so confident that JK,
hey.
I just feel it in my bones, and I can't explain it. But there's just this energy around JK right now. And I mean, to be fair, I thought that energy was around JK the first time. I think JK did a really underrated job on season 5. The bellhop look is still one of my favorite
Oh my
looks that's
gosh,
ever
that's
been on the
the-
show. It's incredible. But I don't know. I just have this feeling, especially after that video and after the trailer. JK is all over that trailer. So I'm hoping, I'm hopeful, and I'm manifesting JK's success in this moment. So I'm picking JK.
I think this is a great pick. I loved JK's energy. I love JK talking about their perspective of drag. Just so funny. Saying that their name is like, you know what? Life, don't take it too seriously. JK. I thought it was really funny that a little shady line, quote, I'm excited to be back with Blackberry and only Blackberry. So we will see some friction between JK and maybe a certain doll of some sort. There's two actually. That doesn't narrow it down. There's two on the season. Cynthia doll. We'll see.
My favorite line from that Meet the Monsters was, "I am my own biggest competition." And even destruction. Like, that made me laugh so much. Because it's a way to actually answer the question, but also make fun of people that do that pageant answer of like, I'm my own biggest threat, which is one of my least favorite recurring tropes on reality TV. Like, unless you're on the reality show Solitary, I don't want to hear about how you're your own biggest competition. I don't care. It's not the case.
Bring back Solitary, by the way. What's
Bring
going
back
on?
Solitary, by the way.
That was brilliant. We need it back.
Mike, talk to me after the recording because we have something to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, this JK look is actually probably the best promo of all. I mean, exactly after releasing the full picture, you kind of realize the full scope, and it looks like if Dr. Zeus has gone totally bloody, like Poppy way bloody, and given that JK himself made quite a lot of rhymes during her season, I'm not expecting anything less. More jokes, more drama. I love the biggest problem they had during season 5 was kind of the elevation of their looks, and now they're not going to have to be cardboard or cutouts or something of sorts. So yeah, we're going to expect some great things from JK, hopefully, especially from the trailer.
I mean, yeah, especially in the trailer, we got to see what seems to be JK and Zavaleta having a pretty big fight in the season trailer, which called the bitch's mom. I don't know the context, but it has become a new vocal stem for me these past few days.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I'm just chatting with a friend and they'll be like, yeah, I need to call someone, and call the bitch's mom. Like, it's just
I need to know the context. I need to know the context of this fight.
Hopefully we'll know it pretty soon, yeah.
I mean,
I imagine they know themselves from New York, don't they? I mean, haven't they worked together somewhere in NYC?
Probably. JK, though, said, I mean, she said that she promises to fight. So, like, I'm not surprised. I'm sure we're going to see a bit of it this season. She keeps her chin up and fun energy in the cauldron, honestly.
That's my icon, and I am manifesting success. So thank you, JK. All right. So moving on to Logan's first choice. This should not shock anyone on this panel who Logan picked first. If I ask you, like, hey, who do you think is going to be Logan's first pick? It should be pretty obvious. Logan went with Cynthia.
Yes. Yes.
For the record, and I want to make this fully established, Logan did send me a list before we recorded in order from most want to least want. So this is not me guessing. Logan did send everything. And I will say, Cynthia was indeed Logan's number one pick on their draft. So Logan has got what they wanted in this circumstance.
And I will say, from the rest of the press that we got, preseason press, I am loving the energy and the looks and the ideas that I'm getting from Cynthia Doll here. I said in the cast assessment that I wanted to see more of the dress here. And I think on it, it just looks so great. I've kind of 180'd on the outfit underneath when she pulls away as well. I think I love this look. She also has like this pink little radio stereo that she has with little spikes and it says Cynthia on it. I mean, just so many cute props that I felt like did not make the original trailer. Cynthia was just such fun energy. Great pick, in my opinion. We just came from JK to Cynthia. She said something about her as well. She said, I probably will fight with JK because she's nuts and so am I. So that's the energy that we're getting going in. Other lines made me laugh my ass off, like bad bitches get sensitive too. And she's she's funny. I love the energy that I get from Cynthia. I love like the journey that we've seen her on. I feel like her as an Exo sister in season 6, we've seen multiple sides of her, and I hope we can see a fully realized Cynthia in this season. I think it's a great pick.
Sure enough, sure, it's a phenomenal pick. And even if this look still can't make me fully believe she's from the same drag house as Q from Drag Race season 16, I'm first of all, I'm convinced that purple would work great on her. Secondly, she will fight with everybody. Thirdly, her like Meet the Queens probably is my favorite of all the little videos we got, and not necessarily for memorable lines, but how delightfully noisy she was in it. And I'm sure we'll get some more iconic screams. I fully agree with you, Mike, that her time as an exorcist probably has 180'd many people to her, like made everybody much warmer towards her. Yeah, exactly. And also for me actually, sorry.
I'll be the first to say, was not a huge fan of Cynthia on season 5, but seeing Cynthia as the extra sister and getting to just see more of this like emotive, fun side of Cynthia, where they're not really trying to edit Cynthia to be a certain way on the show, right? Because when you're a contestant on any reality show, they are going to edit you to the thing that they want you to be, right? The only show we have the luxury of not seeing that is Big Brother, right? Where like even the edited episodes are that way. We have the live feeds to like shiver.
We know who they really are.
We know who they really are. Dragula, we don't. And I will say, and this is something I've wanted to get out at some point during this video, that was something I feel like I should have been more clear on in the cast assessment, because there were certain people, I am not going to name names, Zavaleta, that I was pretty harsh to in that video. So that's something I want to be clear about now, is that any critique that I made in that video was about the edited person that we saw on the show. That's not really them. That is them putting things together in an edit to make people look a certain way. And to be clear, Zavaleta, I know you saw that video because you commented on that video. I would like to formally apologize because I did cross a line in that video. Personally here, though, when it comes to Cynthia, seeing her as the extra sister really did give me that interesting perspective on her that made me realize how fun she can be. I don't feel like we got to see as much of that fun side of her on season 5 because of how they wanted to edit her in the story. So I'm really excited that she's back, and I cannot blame Logan for this pick. I think it makes perfect sense, and yeah.
I think we need to keep in mind, I think all of these people are put into extremely pressure-filled situations with people that, 24/7. There's going to be friction. There's going to be some people cracking, and that's what the producers want. So I agree with you. We're seeing a very specific scenario of these people, and they're editing that to a specific image of it. So we'll see how it goes for Cynthia. I'm excited. I'm personally very excited.
Absolutely. Personally, for me, the turnaround actually started before season 6. It was during season 5 reunion. Boulet later spilled the tea that it was the hardest one to film because everybody was so cold and icy and didn't want to talk about anything. And Cynthia was like the bright spot. And also during that reunion, she opened up about so much about how she would somehow go to KFC or whatnot at night, and she would be in full drag, and she would fear for her life in Kansas City, but still would do it because it's her mojo for life, and it was very endearing. Yeah, it's a bummer we didn't have the reunion for season 6 because of it, because I think it would have been a pretty spicy one, just like seasons 2 and 4. But yeah, hey, Cynthia was the reason for that episode, and yeah, now I'm pretty much excited for what she's gonna do.
All right, Micha, who is your first pick?
It was somebody mentioned by JK.
Yay!
as their principal, concurrent / the one they would fear. And actually, I have battled myself a lot between these two queens. Who's going to be my first pick? My second pick is probably going to be just as surprising. This one is going to be Eva Destruction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Gotta find the picture. Wasn't prepared. I'm just gonna scroll.
Exactly.
I had to find the picture. Sorry. That
Just
is
like I
not
sent to you.
Yep. There it
Oh,
is.
there she was. There she is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I have been pretty split on her during season 3, and I must say season 3 is by no means my favorite season of Dragula, but I somewhat wanted her on Titans 1. I see where the Boulets are coming from, saying that they themselves regret that she didn't have the best portrayal on First Titans, despite doing so well competition-wise, but she was not still in the right headspace. But unlike another Titan from season 1 of Titans, I really believe that she is in a better headspace now, especially after having seen the trailer. Sorry, not the trailer, but the Meet the Queens. And yeah, I really think she can go all the way. The only kind of concern I have that she's gonna be like Ginger Minj on All Star 10 in this regard.
Really?
She might.
I mean,
she might but she's a pretty juggernaut competitor if she doesn't go in her own way, and she doesn't freak herself out, and if she doesn't try to produce everybody, including herself, then she's going to be more than fine. I'm pretty sure she would go all the way. She's going to be very fun television. She's going to give us all the thespian stuff, all her theatrics, with a much, much better drag now, because every year that goes by, she just evolves and makes it more spectacular. I'm very intrigued as how she's going to interact with her season 3 sisters this time around, because on Titans there was only the poor Yovska who went home immediately. So
I adore Yovska, by the way, for the record.
Me too.
Still pissed about Yovska going home so early on Titans.
I so agree, but I also think that both times that Yovska is just not the individual who thrives in the competitive environment at all. I just think that Yovska's drag is not for competitive spaces. I mean, she's just a phenomenal individual, phenomenal drag queen, a true artist through and through, which is just Bjork in the world of, I don't know, Rihanna's or Roaches, something like this.
I would say Yovska is a phenomenal ball competitor, and I don't want to get too much off the current train, but Yovska, I just don't know if the Boulets are ever really gonna fully appreciate Yovska. That's just where I was at with it. But,
maybe, but this time, yeah. I'm sure this time they're gonna vibe with Eva even more than the previous 2 times.
I think it's a strong pick. Eva was in my top 3. I'm excited to see Eva back. I know a lot of people were pausing at this specific look. I will say the shot of this look makes it look great. I think in the video, there were some edges that people were kind of poking at, and I defended it. So go look at the cast assessment if you want to see me defend it. But this looks amazing here. I'm excited to see Eva. We know she's a talent. She's shown that she's a talent, and I think she's going to slay.
Yeah, I'm also really excited to see Eva. Out of everyone that could have came back from Titans, she was probably the person I wanted to come back the second most. The number one answer is and always will be Erica Clash. But I really love Eva just in general. And also, I don't know how she managed to make this beat face look like a mask. It looks like a mask. And I mean that in a compliment way, because I don't know if it's the outlining that she does here, but it just looks so stamped in the best way.
This in-action shot, it's crazy that she painted and styled this outfit and this in-action shot in motion. It looks so good. It looks so good in this angle. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. She's like a mad composer / ghost who was on aboard the ghost train all the way. And also, yes, sorry.
I was saying, I was getting a little bit of Jarvis from this look, from this angle. And I love Jarvis. I love and it is kind of like ghost composer, like kind of a ghost aristocrat of some sort.
Come on, rock me, Amadeus. Sorry. And also, it also harkens back to her last win on Titans, where she already had like a bluish look, but it was a completely different universe. So, I mean, that is kind of cool because her face was already blue in that like top 5 winning look. So that's good.
Well, speaking of rock, Logan's next choice.
Well, we have Micha.
No, Micha
Was
picked
that your
JK and Eva.
And then Logan, right?
What was your first pick, Micha?
Mine was Eva, exactly. And the
second...
I
thought you said you were picking JK and Eva.
Yeah, I wanted to mention...
No, JK wasn't. No, I was trying to make a smooth transition because JK said that Eva is his biggest competition.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, continue. Sorry, Micha.
No, so my second pick was actually probably much more surprising one. It was Jaharia.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let me find Jaharia on the promos. I'm just going to scroll again because it's... Oh. 1 second.
I freaking adore season 6. I think it's my second favorite season after season 4. And of all people there, we might all argue that like many of people are still like undercooked or whatnot, but I think Jaharia is the one who had the potential to return the fastest and make the easiest growth. On this promo pic, she's actually been a very like recycled Jaharia because we almost seen the same look on the original season. She just edited it down with her signature mug stamp. I'm one of the few people who believes that she should have won the Red Rusical challenge over Pi. And she kind of shot
me too, Micha. Me too. I am right there with you.
I just think she shot herself in the foot just saying that I'm going to be a team player. And Pi was like, no, I'm the leader. And probably that kind of swung Boulets into crowning her in that specific challenge. But I also absolutely loved her energy in the trailer when everybody else was going like, oh my God, I'm going to win this. I'm my own greatest champion. And just Brook, as you said literally minutes ago, that's so annoying sometimes when people on reality TV do that. Jaharia was basically like, if Boulets are number 1 and I'm number 2, hello, to shout out to Detox. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so intimidated with all the superstars, but I'm with them. I'm not just as good as them, but I'm so intimidated, but I don't know what is going to happen, but I'm going to win or not. It was super fun seeing her and that with the queens with that energy in particular. As we've seen from trailer, she's become much more like feisty and standing her ground because she's also in a conflict and like quarreling with somebody, but doing this in a more self-assured way that she ever was in season 6. So that's why I'm like kind of rooting for her. I hope she's going to be like an underdog who like quietly slays the competition, because that was her strategy on season 6, which didn't fully work, but she publicly admitted to it by the end of her time there. And I think with just a few more styling choices, given that she was already a badass performer and Titans are usually more like performance-based, well, at least for what we've seen from season 1, there hasn't been so much like variety of Titans so far. But I think that if it's more performance-based than just look-based, then Jaharia has a really good shot of being like this really dark horse which will cut through.
I do like Jaharia's energy. I'm excited to see her on the season. I will say I was a little worried. She seemed a bit starstruck to me, which is cute, and I love saying that. But it seemed like also maybe she seemed honored to be among the cast, which she totally deserves to be here. But also I'm a little worried that she has that attitude. I will say you bring up a good point. Performance ability is important on Titans. And it looks like on this season, there seems to be kind of like some above the gallows. There seems to be some kind of lip sync or dancing kind of gimmick going on. We don't know fully yet. But Jaharia can perform the Boots House Down Mama. I mean, she is an amazing performer. And so I'm
I will
excited.
raise you and just say that out of everybody on this cast, I think she is at minimum in the top 2 when it comes to performance. I think the only person who could really rival her is JK. Based off of what we have seen on the show to this point, this is not a full critique of anyone's abilities. This is just based on what has been on the show. I will say, for Jaharia specifically, you're talking about the I don't know a better word other than saying musical here, that they did on season 6. I think out of her team, she absolutely was the best in that challenge. I think Yuri was the best overall, but I think Jaharia, if we're judging in teams, Jaharia was the winner of that challenge. To me and to a lot of other people. I remember when Pi won that challenge, and I was kind of like, okay, sure. And it always did kind of feel that way with Jaharia. There were a lot of moments that I was like, yes, this is like really great. But I don't think she was ever really in the show's plans to be this like central figure of season 5. She was the narrator for a lot of the show. Or 6, sorry. She was the narrator for a lot of this season. But we never really got to see a lot about her specifically until we got this she's in her head edit, which add that to the list of tropes that I hate about current reality TV.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be talking about Jaharia more in just a minute, but I will say that I am very excited that Jaharia has been picked this early. So we're now going to go to Logan's next choice. And again, if you had to ask somebody, wow, who is Logan going to pick after Cynthia Doll? I wonder. Yeah, Logan has picked Blackberry.
Yes. Was there any doubt?
No, not even this much for me. I was fully expecting this choice. I kind of thought Logan would pick Blackberry first, to be honest with you all.
I was between the two. For him.
Oh, yeah, for him, absolutely. Logan loves Blackberry. I love Blackberry. Robbed. just robbed.
Overlooked in her season.
I fully think that Blackberry should have won season 5, and I stand by that. I think that certain people were given passes by production that they did not fully meet the requirements of in service of them making it deeper into the show. Blackberry was not one of those people. I think Blackberry fully excelled in season 5. I do not think there was a single challenge where Blackberry was ever in my bottom 3. And when we get down to like incredible performer, incredible looks, and I'm a huge fan, and I cannot be mad at Logan for making this choice.
I love Blackberry. I love how polished she is. I also love there's a campiness to her drag that I feel like a lot of Black drag queens don't usually have this campy side, because it feels like you don't see that perspective on the camp side, which is unfortunate, because I love seeing varied perspectives and life experiences come into these different sides of like drag. I love Blackberry. She's really high on my list. I'm not going to reveal where, because I'm going to keep that a secret for now. But I really liked Blackberry. I liked the energy that she was bringing to her interview. She said that she felt her perception of how she was going to be seen on the show and letting people down hindered her, which I think is a great mindset. Like, go in to have fun, go in to show your art, go in to excel and worry about only what you're doing, nothing else outside of you, nobody at home or anything like that. That being said, I mean, the trailer did have a very emotional segment where she was kind of breaking down backstage with Sigourney, and I couldn't really tell because there was a big face part, but somebody else was like coaxing her. So we will see. We don't know the context of that, but I really hope Blackberry slays this season. Love her, love her, love her.
Absolutely. On my list, she was also very, very, very high, and for a good reason. I agree with you, Brook, that her edit, maybe just like the way she was portrayed on season 5, was kind of weird, because she was at the same time kind of given this like too perfect to be good edit, like Victoria Elizabeth Black style, while being campy and much more like emotion. Oh, no, I wouldn't say like Victoria's not emotional, but more like opened up queen, and the edit made us believe that she was kind of this buttoned up queen, and it was very weird all through the season how she was edited. But I agree, she would never be probably in my bottom three, apart from the like top 5 challenge, but she was like number 3 of 5 people, so it's like top 3 as the same as the bottom 3. Her looks were spectacular already back then. Her personality was giving. She has this wonderful presence when she's like a Cheshire cat of sorts, and is probably the only queen of the entire Dragula canon who gives me this vibe, literally, that she's like a smiling cat face, which is going on somewhere and bringing at the same time this campy and clown and very polished and very creative energy at the same time, like super versatile. Yeah, there was this one critique on season 5 which annoyed the hell out of me by the end of the season, where they would keep saying that Blackberry like adapts to everything, but nothing is really her brand, that she's such a chameleon that she loses herself, which is kind of BS, to be honest. I think
being a chameleon is her brand. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
Her brand is it's very simple. She puts a nerdy sci-fi twist on a lot of what she does, but she doesn't have to do that every time in order to make a compelling look. And that's one of the reasons I love Blackberry so much, is a lot of the times we get these really fun references and these really fun, unique takes in their performance, but also just in general, every look hit. All of them.
Exactly.
Even my least favorite Blackberry look on season 5, which I will say is her Monsters of Rock outfit. I don't even think it's bad. I think it's just not as good as some of the other ones that were on that season, because the seasons of 5 Monsters of Rock is incredible. So like,
I just wanted to pinpoint that look specifically because she has the ability to, just like a cat, Cheshire cat, to fall back on her paws, because her wig, if you do remember, like there was some issue, she couldn't glue it to her head during this Monster of Rock show. Yeah, and she went bald and contoured her head with purple, with violet purple, and that was so genius. Yes.
So yeah, Logan, great choice. I cannot fault you for this. Good job. So my next choice is actually going to be our first run back to someone else. And I will say I was fully planning on picking this person before they were selected. I'm going to be picking Jaharia. So
Jaharia is off the board.
Yeah, Jaharia is off the board. And I will say this. I'm being a little metagamey with this pick. Last time on Titans, Coco Kane did a very good job coming back and became the Exorcister. And we know that Jaharia is the Exorcister on season 7. So I'm thinking that maybe we're eating the same Coco Kane nachos. That's my perspective on it. But also, I had Jaharia on my draft team in season 6. And fun fact, Jaharia was actually the last person drafted on season 6. And
wow.
Yeah, and for us. And I will say, a lot of that came down to the fact that the people just weren't really getting a lot, and I liked Jaharia. Out of like the last 4 people, Jaharia was my choice, and the 5th person was my pick actually. So but like going back to this now, I just want Jaharia to do well. There's some sentimentality here, of course, but metagaming wise, I'm hoping that maybe we're just reheating the Coco Kane nachos, and that I can slither in at least a top 5 to 6 performance out of Jaharia here and get into that like nice range of like higher in the season pulls. So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful for Jaharia.
All right, for my second pick, I fully expected this monster to be gone, but they're not. Just by a hair. Let's bring Blackberry back up because I am drafting Blackberry on my team, and Blackberry's off the board.
Pause.
This is
Blackberry is
Sigourney
not
and
the only person off the board. We have to get rid of everyone that has been chosen to this point. So,
yes.
to be clear, that means Blackberry, Cynthia Doll, Eva Destruction, Jaharia, JK, and Sigourney Beaver are now all off the board.
Yeah, this is my Sigourney and Blackberry were my top two on my rankings. So I'm very pleased. I'm very happy with my picks here. Blackberry, we're going all the way to the top.
I can't. No disagreements here.
So, yeah.
All right, Mike. Who's your other choice for round 3?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down my list. Somebody who, from the rest of the press that we got, I did such an improvement on her look and her outlook as well. I am so excited to draft Dahlia Black on my team.
Let me find Dahlia. Hold on. No. Wrong way. I went the wrong way. Where is Dahlia? There we go.
Yeah, Dahlia Black. I mean, I will give us credit. We said the lighting wasn't doing her really much favors on her look. And when we saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, there was extra bits of it that make this look so stunning. She had a reveal. She had a tearaway that we never saw. It was completely edited out of the trailer. So we had no idea that this sickening piece of fabric that like hugs her body so well, we didn't know that was there. And now in this lighting, we can see she was kind of contouring veins and kind of giving this sort of like sea monster fantasy look to her promo look. So I've done like a complete 180. This is probably the biggest improvement of all of the looks from what we said first to now that we see everything. As far as like what Dahlia said in her preseason press, she said she knows she'll provide good looks. And she's had a funny line where she said she wasn't scared of Priscilla. She was only scared of Sigourney and Eva. Mm-hmm. She said, quote, "I've beaten Priscilla before. She just doesn't realize it yet." So I love that little spiciness, that little shade. I also like that she went into a bit of her story. We now see her, she's coming back as a trans woman, and there's that perspective that we're going to see in her drag, and someone who's kind of fully realizing who they are. And I think that's such a great storyline and very personal. I love seeing that. I think it's great for All Stars type seasons because it is her personal life story is kind of mirroring this sort of like coming into your own. And I think I really like what I see from Dahlia Black. I'm excited to have her.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Had Dahlia still been on the table when it came back to me, it's probably going to be picking Dahlia. So
sorry.
Thank you for that one, Mike. I can't be mad. I think Dahlia is stunning, and I think this look is so much better with proper lighting. I'm so irritated because we were kind of shady in the cast assessment video, and so was her look. Her look was kind of shaded in the cast assessment video. This is just so much better. Like getting to see the full lighting, getting to see everything that's going on here. Now I get why the wig is red. So there's that. Yeah, I'm bitter. I wanted Dahlia on my team.
You see, before the trailer, I would probably also have picked her, but now I'm not mad that she's already gone, and that goes to the more the performance aspect of it all. And when she said she's afraid of only Sigourney, but we know that Sigourney can perform the house down with them. Yeah, I'm mad. I cannot take Sigourney people on my team as well. But with Dahlia, I mean, I'm intrigued. I will say so. I'm not exactly super excited about what she's going to bring, but I'm very much intrigued. But now, seeing both Meet the Queens and the trailer, I'm not as sure that she's going to go far as I was before when she was just announced. Although I love these looks, and I'm sure she's going to bring the looks downwards. Yeah.
Well, this is a tough call for me. Yeah. I was fully prepared to be drafting Dolly in this slot, and however I can no longer do that. I'm debating about whether or not I want to be strategic and pick someone who I think has a good shot of going far because of production, or if I want to pick someone I like, because those are two different answers. I want to win. Okay. I'm not happy to be doing this. I don't want to be doing this. If I had a choice to be doing this or not, I would be choosing.
Are you doing it? He's doing it. They're doing it.
I really don't think they're not going to let her at least make it halfway through the competition. And because of that, I'm going to be drafting. Nope. Wait, I thought she was at the end. Where's she at? There she is. I'm drafting Abora.
Wow.
I just don't see them letting Abora go early at all. And like we mentioned, not a fan personally based off of what I've seen on the show. I think Abora visually can, when Abora is like putting effort in, can serve some incredible stuff. It's just Titans was such a drag. I just feel like they're not gonna bring Abora back and not let Abora make it a couple episodes at least. And a lot of people, I just don't know where they're gonna land. And I feel like Abora is at least someone I can say, at minimum, 8th place or something like that. You know what I mean?
I don't like that forced aspect though. Boulet Brothers, let them go out where they naturally should go out. And then we would like Abora more, because I feel like people are very upset with Abora, because I feel like production kind of kept Abora around longer than Abora probably should in Titans 1. And I think she said herself in, her preseason press, she wasn't in the best headspace for Titans 1. And I hope she comes through, that she's going to follow through on that on Titans 2. Let's let people give people the space to surprise us, because Abora has some amazing looks in her repertoire, and I saw some amazing stuff in the trailer as well. That was definitely Abora, because I saw the nose. So I'm excited. Let's see what she can do.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. I'm so glad I didn't pick her on my team. Unlike with Eva, I'm not necessarily like fully on board that I believe that she's changed that much. And yeah, her on Titans 1 was such a like train wreck, and not to mention that she was already brought back within that season. And after her first like elimination in the episode 1, she is good TV. If it was like, a TV on the frozen side of Jupiter or whatnot. But I mean, she's good TV of sorts. Excited is not exactly the word. Intrigued also not quite the word. I mean, I would still love to see her sometimes. There is some like, when the glass is shattered and, there is one piece of glass that looks so beautiful out of like a dozen. And I think, that's such a cool thing about. So I'm intrigued to see 1/12 of Abora back on my screen.
I hope the recast is because there's actual growth that they actually saw from Abora, and not just production trying to stir the pot.
Sure.
I will say this promo look with the lighting, I do like it a lot more. And that does give me a little bit more confidence, because I think this is something that is elevated compared to what we saw of Abora on Titans 1. So I'm hoping that this won't feel like a production push.
Sure.
And if Abora makes it deeper than where they are comfortable letting Abora go at, that it's going to be something that's earned and like we feel it in the episodes. And also, how many crowns will season 2 ultimately have? That is the real question. We're currently at 3. We'll see if we hit 4 by the end of the season. If that does happen, I better be seeing Erica Clash on Titans 3 to get the 5th crown for season 2.
I was like, how are they going to get Erica Clash back into the conversation?
Of course. I mean, and spoiler alert, there's a possibility they might be getting a crown on season 7 as well. So we'll be seeing how that turns out.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. am cautiously optimistic about where Abora is headed after this promo look, to the point where I am willing to sacrifice my current personal feelings of the edited character of Abora to then pick them for my draft team. So don't let me down, please.
No,
I need a win, okay? I need one more win this year, please. All right. Logan's next choice. Not very surprising, but maybe not as immediately obvious as some of the other choices that have been made by Logan to this point. Logan's next choice will be Jade Jolie.
She was next on my list too.
Same. Actually, it was literally, I was debating between picking Jade or Abora. I just have more confidence that the Boulets will let Abora make it further than Jade.
Unfortunately, Afterlife of a Showgirl. By the way, we're filming this on the release date of Life of a Showgirl, so it is very, very pertinent today to be talking about.
You know what's crazy? Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters is still out streaming at last I checked, which I find hysterical. I love Jade. I think Jade is so fantastically talented. I'm glad to hear that Jade is in a much better headspace than they were on season 4, than she was on season 4. Because that reunion, there were times in that reunion that were kind of hard to watch Jade talk about where she was at. So I am hopeful that she's going to be doing well in this competition as well mentally, first and foremost. The looks are always fun for me for Jade. I don't have really much that I dislike Jade in on Dragula. Drag Race, maybe not the same story, but Dragula, typically really good from Jade. I'm just thinking of the hair runway from season 5 right now, the one she got booted in. That's the one I'm like,
but you know what? Hair is her curse because she was also booted on her hair runway season 4 Dragula. She was booted twice on 2 hair runways. How iconic.
Oh, and the roaches in the hair. I remember that.
Exactly. She had 2 hair runways and both.
It's too much. It's too much.
Well, you know what? I believe in the fantasy that Jade Jolie is bringing. She is so gorgeous. I really feel a metamorphosis in Jade Jolie. And I have so much faith that we're going to see a fully realized Jade Jolie on this season. I am a little worried because there is a glamour aspect that maybe is a little too much for the Boulet brothers to kind of allow through. But I really want to see more glamour aspects to this horror, because I think there is a lot of glamour in horror and unexplored avenues in that way. I'm excited to see Jade. Her confidence was just oozing from her preseason press, and I'm excited.
Yeah, first of all, this is my second favorite look of all the promos, all things considered. Like, the full form is just so good.
It was my favorite.
I really hope Jade can win at least a challenge, and there's going to be no hairy runway anymore anywhere near her. In the trailer, though, it seemed that something already has thrown her off. There was like this moment of like breakdown, her intense fight with somebody. So I'm still not sure that such reality is a like conducive environment for her, like full-on mental recovery. But if she was already in a good headspace before going on this, then hopefully she can battle through it and show us something that she hasn't shown before on either reality show. Because afterwards, like, sky's the limit for her. If Abora after the season goes to Project Runway, then Jade can go like anywhere.
Mm-hmm. One thing she said in her preseason press that oh my gosh, she said it's corny to say that someone is too glamorous for Dragula, and I hard agree, honestly. I do think you need to bring the other aspects to it, but glamour is one of these stated criteria for the show. I think you need to be able to display it well, and some queens display each of these different criteria the best. Jade, it's clearly glamour, so I'm all for it.
Same. Yeah, it's great.
I love Jade. I want Jade to do well, and I'm happy Jade is here. And Logan drafting Jade does not shock me even a little bit. So, we're now getting into our last couple picks. So, Micha, who are your last two choices out of who's left? So, friendly reminder to the folks at home: the remaining monsters are Disastrina. I can't do the Logan voice. I'm sorry. Frankie Doom, Zavaleta, Loris, and Priscilla Chambers is who is left on the table.
So yeah, I do have my third and fourth picks, and the third one is actually gonna be Priscilla Chambers.
Wow, why am I not surprised?
Yes, I mean, also speaking of the fantasy, like who's like more or less fully formed. I believe she has evolved. What we've seen from her in the trailer and whatnot, she has grown like a lot since Resurrection. And especially since from her season, she was like very endearing. She was kind of the heart of season 3, if that was a pretty malfunctioning heart overall. But I mean, hey, what do you get from Dragula in this regard? Yeah, I love that Jade is still on the screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's fine. No worries. I after like seeing all these promo materials and the trailer and the mid-2 I'm actually pretty sure that Priscilla can go further than Dole, who shaded the hell out of her during her mid-Queens. I think there was something always intriguing about Priscilla's performance abilities. Then she can go like that psycho mental kind of acting kind of direction. She can go pretty far. I think this look for all this Frankenstein rooster kind of vibes is pretty interesting on its own. And yeah, I mean, I believe that Priscilla can be kind of a wild card. I really don't know how far she's gonna go, because she can get like both win a couple of challenges and go like half the way or all the way, or she can be an early out. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But I'm like putting my 2 points for her.
I think I liked a lot of what she said in her preseason press. She said, people, she doesn't like when monsters aren't confident in themselves, because their biggest competitors are really themselves in this competition. And I definitely agree. I also liked how she opened up about like she wants to get money so that she wants to provide for her mother, but also she wants to go get some surgery so she feels like she likes what she sees when she looks in the mirror. And that's a very vulnerable. I liked that she opened up to us in that regard. I liked a lot of the heart that I saw in Priscilla in the preseason press.
Yeah, I still love Priscilla. I'm kind of surprised Priscilla was still on the table at this point, to be honest. But maybe it was just there were other people that each of us were individually more excited for, and it just kind of happened that way. One of my favorite things about this look is that the blood is bedazzled. Like
yes.
It's not fabric. It's literally she studded that, but it's done in such a way that you can't really tell that unless you get like a really close look at it. To see it, I think she did a really good job picking out a nice detail there that adds a little bit of something to this look to zhuzh it up a little bit. Again, Priscilla is a reasonably local girl to my hometown, and I do want her to do well. So I am hopeful that our chain smoking auntie is going to do her absolute best, and I want her to devour this competition. So. Good choice, Micha. I cannot fault you even one bit.
I want her to tell us like what's some bullshit,
Like I mentioned in the assessment, I really want to hear her talk about Asheville like badly. Because Micha, I don't know if you know about this. Priscilla's hometown got hit by a hurricane last year, like about a month or two before they filmed. So I'm hoping really bad. It would like. Something like 60 to 70% of Asheville was just wiped out pretty much. So it's something I'm hopeful that she talks about on the show and we get to see her talk about it. Because especially considering where that hurricane hit, I mean, I don't know how much you all know about southeastern United States geography, but Asheville, North Carolina is a mountain city. He doesn't get hit by hurricanes. It's not a common thing for them whatsoever. But because of the way the winds blew the clouds, it hit there and like all over Western North Carolina and Northeastern Tennessee and Southwest Virginia all got hit by that really hard. So Nashville was the big city that really got hit and all of that. So I'm hopeful that we get to hear her talk about that. But also, I just want to see more of Priscilla. I love what Priscilla brings to the table. And Micha, this is a great choice.
And also, like to wrap things up about her, I think it's such a great storyline because on her original season, she was like this, orphaned kid, who was adopted by Louisiana Purchase, and now she's like a fully formed like auntie by herself. And if this story about Asheville is brought up, because I believe somebody talked about it on cast assessment, was it you or Logan? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's going to be a great like wrap up to your storyline to kind of make things up that now she is the saint patron of somebody, or like the unholy patron of her city or something, because as she was like the unholy adopted child on season 3, then now she's this mothering somebody else. It would be so great to see. And now the fourth pick is a very spicy, a very feisty, very not exactly Tex-Mex, but NYC Mex queen, La Zavaleta. The one, yes. The only. Yes. I think, yeah.
There you go.
Given us Mayan realness, not a stack, but Mayan, as you not by this. I mean, yeah, Zava already made so far on season 4. She was like already such a character. She like won challenges. She started fights. She ended fights. She was in all of the fights. She was probably the second best actor on the challenge. She went home.
I actually agree. Agree.
And I mean, the reappearance of Zava was basically a question of time. I adore this look. This is my third favorite promo, actually. Love the Mexican nod to the pre-Columbian civilization, all this heritage stuff. I think Zava is like a lightning rod. She's like lightning in a bottle by herself. Of course, she's gonna start fights. Maybe she's gonna be like dirty and not pretty likable this season as well. Maybe not. Maybe this is gonna be like some, I don't know, character arc where her TV personality is gonna be shown differently. But one thing is for sure, that she's gonna be like fighting for every chance to win, and she would be like literally an assassin who's going to be very intriguing on the screen.
Yeah, I have to say, from the promo shots we're seeing now, I really do love the colors on this look. It's my feelings have improved on it. I feel like the colors that we saw kind of desaturated a lot of the colors. I know it's a Mayan look now. I know I'm paying attention. So I appreciate the note on that, and I'll note that moving forward. And I'm excited. One thing that La Zavaleta said in her press was that she promises always to show different perspectives and change genders. And I do love androgynous, like mixing the feminine and the masculine energy. And I think we get all of that in this look here. As for like the comments, I will address like the comments that we made in the cast assessment regarding her conduct. I am fully aware this is an edited product. We are seeing an edited, tiny amount of what happens on the show. I don't think any of my comments on what happened on season 4, I do not think that that is the encapsulation of who Zavaleta is as a person. And if anything that I said invalidates Zavaleta or makes them feel like, that I'm think that they're just a trash person, that's not the point. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying like what we saw made me feel some certain way, but it is a TV show. They're trying to make I feel like also there's a bit of performance that Zavala is trying to make good TV as well. I also think it's part of her personality that she does show some spiciness, and she said she brings spice to everything that she does. I always know, I've watched enough reality TV to know this is an edited product. It is a small portion of these people's lives in a very pressured situation. So I give a lot of like room for people to show me something different. And I'm not saying that I didn't like what I saw before. I've loved Zavaleta's drag. I'm just gonna give space for people to surprise me. I know that it's an edited product, and I just need to get that out there on the record.
Yeah, Zavaleta was all over this trailer as well. We saw a lot of Zavaleta in the extended trailer. I will say a lot of it was drama adjacent and less focused on the drag. I will again say Call the Bitch's Mom has been recurring in my brain since I watched the trailer. I love Zavaleta's drag. I think Zavaleta's drag is incredible. I'm excited to see what Zavaleta can pull out on this season. I've already addressed the cast assessment stuff. Let me just make it clear. Pretty much everything that Mike just said, I would like to echo. And I will also further with my statement say, if anything that I said totally offended you on a like deep level, that was not my intention. In the same way that a lot of people come on Dragula or reality TV in general, and they, just say how they feel in the moment. A lot of the time, we're not scripted. We just say how we're feeling, and we just go off of it. And sometimes we do take it too far. So I would like to say for myself, I will say, I don't really personally think Mike said anything super out of pocket. I did go harder than I should have, and I do apologize for that, because I would like to again reiterate, this is an edited version of someone we are seeing on TV. This is not them as a human being. I've never met Zavaleta. I do not know who they are as a person. I don't know Zavaleta like that. But the edited character I saw in season 4, I wasn't a huge fan of the edited character of Zavaleta on season 4. I don't know how much they're going to be willing to update that character on Titans 2 based on the edit we got in this trailer. And I'm curious to see if this is just them showing a dramatic moment, or if it's going to be like, I want to know the context more. I need to know what Call the Bitch's Mom is about. Because again, it's been so playing back in my head since I saw the trailer. Mm-hmm. I'm really curious as to what it is, but I'm also just curious to see what Zavaleta is going to bring to the full shows. I'm hopeful that this is going to be another one of those things of seeing where has the growth been, what's fully changed, and where's your perspective now as opposed to season 4.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'll just echo what Brooke said as well. Like, if anything that I said, like, offended, I never mean to. I'm sorry for offending anybody from my comments. I'm really just giving my opinions on I'm seeing here. And it's never meant to really cut deep. It's really, I want to celebrate drag on this platform. And I love Zavaleta's drag. I do.
Yes, and she already had some pretty amazing looks on season 4. Like, for crying out loud, she won the Space Cowboy Challenge and whatnot. She was great in the Monsters of Rock. She had this personality, but also what's cool about her is she's like assumes her role as a villain, at the same time giving like complex layers, like what we learned about her family, about her sister's burial, and here when she goes full on man. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the high school in me who's obsessed with Mayan civilization talks that Asia color is actually the one that was used before human sacrifices, when those people were like fully painted in this like Asia turquoise blue, and then sometimes their hearts would be ripped out on top of pyramids, something like this, if it was not like fictionalized and exaggerated later on. So it's very interesting to see this color palette in her look as well, because she's like kind of a lightning rod who burns, and she burns a lot in this trailer as well. So I'm very excited for her.
Well, speaking of excited for Logan's final pick, out of the 3 people left, who do you think Logan picked as their last choice? It is very clearly
Disasterina.
Yeah. Logan's final choice is Disasterina. No one is surprised. No one is gooped. No one is gagged. No one is betrayed by Logan's choice here. Not that Disastrina is not gooping, gagging, and retrieving us in this promo, but Logan picking Disastrina is the most open book, see what Logan is going to do on the test kind of answer I've ever seen. Yeah, I love Disastrina, and full disclosure, had Logan not picked Disastrina, I would have picked Disastrina next. So
if you didn't, well, I would have been defaulted, but I would have been so happy to have Disastrina because she was next on my list.
Yeah, but yeah, I love Disastrina. I just really hope we get to see more of her, and I don't even mean like more, not even necessarily just her drag. I want to see more of her drag, but I also just want to see more of Disastrina. That's all it is. I'm excited. I know Logan is a huge fan, so I think this is correct that Disastrina should be on Logan's team. So here we are.
I was just cracking up watching the preseason press of Disastrina. Everything she says is so funny. My favorite quote was she was like, "I want everyone to do well. I want everyone to slay, but don't slay better than me." And then she also said other things like, I got to do it. This is my last chance because I'm old and decrepit. And, I want you to see me like this and not out of this because I'm old and ugly. It's just so funny. I love Disastrina. And the closer, though, I will say, seeing this look, the more I really have come to love it. I'm excited to see the drag that Disastrina brings as well. The attitude is there. We all love the attitude, but the drag is amazing as well.
Yeah, this promo looks what Jade was going her hair runway if all of the hair was trimmed. This is the Sasquatch mother we deserve. I adored absolutely him with the Queens. I second everything Mike said. I loved every one line. She's like a one-liner pinball machine in the sense that she doesn't realize, or she gives the impression she doesn't realize that every single sentence she says is basically like, one line that you retain. Exactly. She was like this in season 2. She's even more so in the Meet of Queens. I'm just not sure competition wise if she's gonna do well, but she, however, delivered one of the most iconic acting challenges of all time in season 2, although she didn't win this back then. But it was iconic. Yes. Absolutely, it could have been a double win, but she was phenomenal in that. Yeah, with all the coke and the rest lines. Yeah, it was so quotable, and yeah, I mean, she can go pretty far. I'm very excited for Disastrina. Yeah, it was years in the making, and yeah, probably she's not gonna appear afterwards in any other show. So let's see the maximum of her.
Well, I get to make the final choice. I'm not really happy to do that because I don't really like having to be like, okay, I'm making you the kid that got picked last in dodgeball. Like, I never want to be that person. But it appears today I am going to have to make somebody that person. I'm still debating about it, to be honest. A couple of times when we've done these drafts and I got to the end and I'm the person that makes the last pick, I go, who do you want out of the other two? But I know who I want. I'm picking Loris.
Right.
Now I will say it was not an easy decision. I do think Loris and Frankie are both sickening. 1. 2, this entire cast is one of the most stacked casts we have ever had on any drag competition show. Oh dear God. All of these people could win a crown, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then with Sigourney, I'd be like, yes, bitch, work! But besides the point. I'm taking Loris mainly because with Loris, you never really know what's going to happen, right? Loris could show up in one of the most stunning looks you have ever seen in your entire life, or Loris could go way too out of the box, completely miss the point of the challenge, and fall flat on their face. But you know what? Either way, I'm entertained. And that's what we need to be with Loris at the end of the day. Because we got to remember, we have seen a grand total of 6 looks from Loris on Dragula. 2 of them have been amazing peak television. Oh my God, what the hell am I looking at? One of them was really, really good, and the other three were interesting. We'll say that.
I mean, I think I know one of them. I think the prompt was just bad in general.
Oh, I agree. I fully agree. I know we're talking about the same episode.
Well, let's just see for the content. What do you think it is?
Episode 3 of season 1.
It's the pink.
Yes.
Pink is awful.
I also thought the same
terrible,
thing.
terrible prompt.
Yeah.
Throw it in the trash bin.
But she looked like a gum on the windscreen. It's cool.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was also season 1. I give them a little bit more grace when it comes to season 1. And I like Loris a lot. I really think that having Loris on the show is so fun. And also Loris had a really, really interesting package on Resurrection, including my second favorite look in that entire special was one of Loris's looks. My absolute favorite was Saint's ghost look, in case anyone's curious. I feel like that's everyone's favorite, but just feels like it needs to be said. So yeah, and also I don't know what the hell I'm looking at here, but I love it. So
yeah,
this like claw machine headpiece with the like I don't
kind of
know.
get anime.
It's like very Power Rangers. I really love this look, and I'm really excited that Loris is back. So that's where I'm at with it.
I love Loris, and I love like the energy that she's bringing is so much more calm, I think, than what we saw on season 1. So we're seeing somebody who has grown a lot and is much more sure of themselves and is ready to show what they can do. Yeah, I love Loris. I don't think being picked this far down should be any indicator of her ability because this is a stacked cast, and I think she's sickening. I think this look is sickening. And I think she's very sure of herself and ready to show what she has. Yeah, I love Loris. I'm so excited to see season 1 Monsters back on a budgeted season, a season that has a budget it deserves.
Well, and also it is starting to get to that kind of like a Drag Race pull of an older season girl of like, it's been what 9 years since season 1 filmed, because I think it started airing in 2016. It's been a minute, and I really, and granted, both of our season 1 reps here were on Resurrection, so we did get to see a little bit more from them than we have from some other people that were on season 1. But that still doesn't mean I don't want to see where they're at now. We got to remember Resurrection was a while ago now. It's been what 5 years since Resurrection filmed.
Yeah,
So it's 2020, right? Yeah. So I'm really curious to see what Loris and what we'll talk about Frankie in a second, what they're both going to bring to this competition now compared to what they were able to bring on season 1, especially considering how much the show has changed since filming on the 9mm camera in season 1, airing on YouTube versus this major studio production that is Dragula nowadays. So I'm hopeful.
Hands down. Yeah, Loris would be like a second pick from season 1, all things considered, and given that Melissa was already on Titans, so that was my next pick and first pick for this season. Yeah, I mean, she's exactly what you described her. She can go either like inside the prompt and nail everything, or she can be completely outside the box. She's like, the cat. These things can also be said about Tabora, but Tabora would also take you to some, I don't know, place which you don't necessarily want to be taken, but with Loris, you're always entertained. She's literally like a mind of her own. So we'll see how it goes. But this look, yeah, I adore it. I'm also not sure what I'm looking at, but yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm here for it. Bring me on this journey, Loris.
There we go. All right. So wrapping us up today, Mike, you are going to be ending up with Frankie Doom as soon as I can find Frankie's picture in this sea full of
Come to me, Frankie. We're excited to have you. I love this pose. I love this promo pic. I love the marrying of kind of like there's masculine and then a feminine energy all married into one. It's everything I loved about Frankie Doom in season 1. Yeah, I loved Frankie Dim's energy, just so grounded, such a fun energy. Um, I will put it out on record. Like, she did talk about moving to Alaska, and she said she's working in HIV prevention, which amazing. That's an amazing thing to, devote your life and time to. I'm a little worried about just, I guess, how much opportunity or like growth in Alaska there is, and then coming from that situation. But this look is sickening, and I'm here to see more of what Frankie has. I loved the energy that she had in season 1, and I'm excited to have her on my team.
Yeah, I will say making the decision between Loris and Frankie was kind of hard. And I kind of just went with, I've seen more of Loris since season 1 of Dragula than I have of Frankie. I'm really curious to see where Frankie's at now, because even when we were at for Resurrection is a very different person than the Frankie we're at now. I'm really curious, and also I really want to see Frankie do well, because I really think it would be fun to see Frankie do well. I think Frankie did pretty great across the board in season 1, but you're dealing with one of the most successful contestants in the history of the show in Vander. So, like, naturally, it's going to be an uphill battle for anyone to get any challenge wins on season 1. She made the finale, and like, that's more than a lot of other people on this cast can even say. She made it to the end of the show in a time period where we didn't really know what that was going to look like. So in terms of being able to shine, we've seen Frankie do it before. I hope Frankie can do it again.
Agreed, 100%.
Sure, you're absolutely right. I mean, this just like there is this wild card effect that there's been so many years, and you really don't know what to expect of Frankie, especially with all these other monsters. But I think she's gonna be herself fully, because she's not gonna edit like her personality for TV, and she's gonna bring that raw first season energy. Here on this promo pic, she actually looks like a mother of the letter for some reason, but I'm not mad at it. It's kind of cool, and I love how the blood drips off your faux fur, assuming it's faux. So yeah, I'm pretty excited as well.
All right, everybody. Well, it does appear like we have officially wrapped up our draft.
Do we want to bring up the teased, the 15th queen monster?
Okay. So let's talk about it. So we have been teased that there may be a 15th person joining this cast that has not been revealed yet for optimal gagging. So before we get into any of that, if you are not wanting to hear that and you want to be surprised for the premiere, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure having you here today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Comment down below who you would have picked for your teams. Thank you very much. 3, 2, 1, great. Okay, so allegedly, based on what we have seen and the rumors that are going around, there is a possibility that Vander Von Odd will be on the season. However, we can't confirm that, and letting someone draft someone who's not here doesn't make a ton of sense. So the logic that we are using here is going to be the logic we pulled from Big Brother this past season, which was we knew there might be another person joining. So whoever wins the first floor show, if they so desire, may trade for a theoretical 15th person if there is a 15th person on the cast. Okay? So for example, if I'm using Cynthia Dahl because I know Logan has Cynthia. If Cynthia Dahl wins the first floor show, and Logan is like, I don't want X, I want Vander, then Logan can get rid of somebody and pull in Vander instead, and that would just how it would be. Importantly, though, if there's not, there's not. We can't really do anything about it, so that's why we're going to have to do it in a fun, quirky way this time.
I will say, it will be a gag if Vander Von Odd is on this season, because I think...
He's winning.
What?
They're winning.
Yeah.
They're winning.
That's why I'm kind of like...
I hate being that person. I hate being that person. This isn't a BB situation, okay?
I think they
BB
were
down.
going for BB if they do it.
I'm actually
I think that's what they were thinking.
Yeah, I was just saying, love BB down. Big fan of BB, okay? There is a different energy that comes into the room if Vander Von Odd shows up than if BB Zahara Benet shows up for All Stars. Love BB down. That is not a knock on BB. That is just saying, in terms of the lore of the show, there is very different energies that come in the room from both of them. Vander is statistically, I believe, to this day, still the best performer in the history of the show. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. 4 challenge wins, right? Or 3? A lot of challenge wins from Vander on season 1.
I think
Never
Landon might,
and she was dominant. I always thought, Landon is the other one that I was thinking of as far as track record, but it was a longer season on season 3, and but both seasons, both Landon and Vander, like from episode 1, I was kind of like, oh well, there's the winner right there. Yeah.
Vander won 3 challenges if you count the final episode, and I do count the final episode, especially because the way Dragula does it, I count that as a winning an episode. And even then, Vander literally is I believe, the only person ever to have been made it to a certain point of the competition, and they're like, okay, sweetheart, you're doing real great. We're really proud of you, and you won the episode. But we need to see you win an extermination.
And that's where she proved to the Boulet brothers, no, I'm winning the season. I'm gonna eat this sheep brain. Was it
pig brain?
Pig brain. It was a brain of some. It was an animal brain of some.
If you want to, you can join it, and she did.
Yeah.
And that was so cool of her.
She was down. She was so game.
It was so iconic. But actually, I think it's not like a BB situation. It's more like Raven All Star 7 situation, in the sense that it's like a false flag in a trailer when she comes into the workroom and everybody thinks she's competing for 10 minutes or so, and then
Raven's not a winner, though.
No, I'm just a guest judge. You know, I'm just came back to. I think
I will say it will. I mean, we'll talk about it if it happens. Vander looked stunning coming in. Just looked amazing, but she never doesn't look amazing. So,
we'll see if they're going for a Raven moment on All Stars 7 or a BB moment on All Stars 3. We'll figure it out. But until then, currently our teams are as follows: Team Mike, Sigourney Beaver, Blackberry, Dahlia Black, and Frankie Doom. Team Brook is JK, Jaharia, Abora, and Loris. Team Logan is Cynthia Doll, Blackberry, Jay Jolie, and Disastrina. I still can't do the voice.
Disastrina.
Thank you. And then Team Micha, Eva Destruction, Jaharia, Priscilla Chambers, and La Zavalada. So, who is your favorite team? Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know who you think has the best team, because dear Lord, we all want to win. We're all competitive. We all want this bad. But let us know down below. Who do you think has the best team? Who would you have drafted if it was up to you and you had your little choice of 4 people that you could have grabbed for your own team? Who are you most excited to see on this cast? If you're like us, there's a lot of people here that we're really happy to see. So let us know down below. Dragula Titans is premiering on Tuesday, October 7th. So it's right around the corner. I'm very excited. I know both of you are very excited. Logan's excited. Jack also very excited, but currently traveling and did not send me a list before they left. So we're all just very excited for Dragula to be back on our screens. So make sure you stay tuned and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, so that way when we upload our recaps for Dragula Titans 2, you can be here to watch them as they come out. While you're down there hitting that button, you can also hit the like button. That does help us a lot. And even if you want to share the video, it'd be nice of you to do that. And also, if you feel like you want to buy some merch, you can do that at laundrycreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description down below and on the ticker on your screen. Follow us everywhere, all of our socials. We have our audio podcast links below as well. And I do believe that's it. So we're gonna get out of here, everybody. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.